Welcome to the Wise Take DFS Podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I'm joined once again by our new boys, the Wisconsin boys. We got CamG333. You can find him on Twitter at CamGDFS. He writes our NFL complete breakdowns. Give him props, man. It's a lot of words. It's a lot of work, and he gets that done for us. And, of course, we got our boy Wisco, but you guys might know him as John Lackey. That is right. The self-portrait from back when he was playing with the Cubs. Oh, he's still playing with the Cubs. There he is. Look at that. Decked out in his Green Bay gear. He's all out. He's rooting for his Green Bay team. I don't think anybody really knew that Lackey was really from Wisconsin and a big Green Bay fan. But we all know it now. Wisco, how you doing, brother?
Good. Go Pack. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack. Cam, you also a Packers fan, obviously, both of you guys from Wisconsin. And my man just got back from Las Vegas. How was your week, brother?
It was good. The first couple of days were a little rough. A lot of alcohol was consumed, but then we settled down the last couple of days, and it was a good time. So I'm glad to be back, though. Couldn't play FanDuel there at all, so I was kind of upset, but got back on the slate tonight, and looks like we're gonna take fourth out in the single entry $10 tourney. So happy with that, and watching our Packers here take down the Bears. So like that as well. So
Cam, did you actually find Irina?
No, I did not. I had as much trouble finding Irina as I had trying to find Patio Joe on that football link that he sent
he's
us.
roughing. Yeah, I couldn't.
Irina might be mythical, but if I was
exactly.
Vegas, I would look for Irina.
I don't think so, bro. Joe ain't making shit up. I'll tell you that right now. Joe. No, if Joe is constantly, if he sent you on a mission to on a search, she's there, bro. I always trust the Patio Joe, man. Yeah, Patio Joe's play of the day. That's Patio Joe's play of the day. You always follow Patio Joe's play of the day.
I think Cam said, "Is this Irina?" And it was like an 85-year-old woman in a wheelchair, like saying.
Did you guys see that picture?
Yeah, whatever it said. I don't know if I can say it, but is this Irina? That was hilarious. I think I found her. Yeah.
I didn't even know I sent you guys that picture. That's funny. I don't even remember that.
Oh yeah. We have some good times in the staff chat. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what do you know? You guys are on the last regular season MLB podcast, man. The two Wisconsin guys taking it home.
While the Packers are playing.
There you go. If anything, that'd be a reason for you guys not to be doing the show today. Like, no, I can't, man. I got to watch the Packers. But these guys are. This is what you get. You get two guys that just love the industry, love DFS. Can't get enough of the nation. That they're going to multitask, right? They're going to multitask. Right. They're going to watch.
While the Packers are playing, but also while the Brewers are in like the most stressful,
Oh man.
Not giving up yet, but I mean. That goose
we got 3 games to game 2 on it.
Like, come on, So.
Yeah, I'm gonna apologize to you now, but I've been doing okay in MLB this week, and the main reason is because I've been stacking the Reds a lot. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Schaebler, Votto, those guys. Kozart, the one day Kozart got hurt, another day it kind of screwed me, but.
They had like 4 bombs in that one game that I was watching. That was tough.
Yes, they did.
Yesterday, I think I had 150% Brewer exposure, FanDuel, DraftKings, 100%. Everything was Thames, Shaw, Phillips. I had every little flavor you could possibly think of. And I watched that whole game, 8th inning, and I'm sitting there on my couch going, okay, let's go, boys. Let's go. It's like, I'm still going, come on. Come on.
Let's get like a walk here.
Get how about a single here?
A single.
And then I remember CK said, Jesus Aguilar or Jesus or Jesus, whatever. He sucks. And he might be good, but I've played him 20 times and he sucks. CK said it. he might be good, but he sucks because when I play him, he sucks.
Dude, I'm gonna Trevor Bauer you here. He's good. He's good.
No, I
No,
know, but
he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. He doesn't get to play enough. He's got to play every day. He's got to play every day.
I think the last time I was on, I was like, tomorrow, Aguilar against the lefty, 2,300. I think he's going to hit a home run. And he hit a home run. I'm like, yeah, that was obvious. But at the same time, like 3 days later, DK is like, Aguilar is going to be cheap tomorrow, but he sucks. Every time I play him, he strikes out. He sucks. And I'm like, yeah, he does. He does.
That's my favorite. Every time, Jesus versus lefty, 2,200. Everyone expects a home run. And then when he doesn't home run,
the first one that counts, and Cam, you've said before too, like, we don't have to make this about the Brewers, but at the same time, the Brewers are one of the only teams tomorrow that are really playing for something. So you've said before, when you put that player out there like Phillips, he's a cheap option, but he might get pinch hit for. Council loves to throw Aguilar out as a pinch hitter. That anyone, in the Brewers. But, yeah.
And Aguilar, he just needs to play every day. Once he's playing every day, he'll be in the rhythm, and he's gonna be good. He just needs to play every day.
Sure.
But anyway, guys, you know what?
You said it.
We're obviously, you guys got me in the baseball mood now, and so let's go ahead and jump in here because we got 13 games. So I'm going to get you guys talking more productively and a little bit less about the Brewers. But you will have your time to talk about your Brewers. You will. I promise you, because they are playing and they have a lot to play for. So we're going to give you that section, but we got to get there first. So tell me, Cam, we're going to go with you first this time, okay? I want you to talk to me about Garrett Cole of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Talk to me about Steven Strasburg of the Washington Nationals. We were talking before the show that we don't, the question was, are the Nationals playing for anything? And while they technically could be, based off their lineup today, it doesn't appear as though they are. What do you think, Cam?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if they throw out that lineup again tomorrow, it kind of tells me that they don't really care. So, is Strasburg really going to care? Is their manager really going to care to keep him in there for 6+ innings to get the points that we want to get out of him at 10.5K? So these are all real questions that we have to think about going into these last games of these seasons, even over the weekend. So it's definitely something we have to watch tomorrow, see if we can get any rumblings about how they're going to use them tomorrow. But, I mean, if we're taking out of consideration the situation, I obviously like Strasburg. He's been on fire last 6 of his 7 starts. Kind of got a little roughed up against the Mets. Speaking of his hot streak, I guess 3 earned, so not terrible, but only 6 Ks in 5 innings. So that could kind of be foreshadowing how they might use him tomorrow, keep him at 5 innings maybe. So I don't see him going 6, 7, 8, 9 innings to get that ceiling that we usually want out of him. But Pittsburgh, below average hitting team. There's some guys that I'm scared of there, like Marte's been on fire. I think he has double-digit hits in 5 straight games or something like that. Batting 500 over the last 14 days. McCutchen put up 75 over the weekend, I think. And then you get guys like Josh Bell who kind of spot their power there. But who knows what we're going to get from the Nationals lineup. But they've been struggling recently. They have a 28% K percentage over the last 7 days with a below average WRC plus. But it looks like a lot of their studs have been getting unlucky. From when I was looking at the stats, a lot of their BABIPs are pretty low, but their hard contact's up. So I don't know if I would want to go Garrett Cole here if they're playing that stud lineup where you get Turner, Harper, Murphy, Zimmerman, Rendon. But Garrett Cole's also a guy who has that K upside going up against a team who's been striking out a lot lately. And I could definitely see it, but you'll know in the first inning or two if Cole's going to be your ceiling guy or if he's going to be the guy who will get you 10 points. So, but we're definitely going to have to monitor the Nats tomorrow and see what they're doing with their lineup and everything. I don't think there's much BVP in this game at all, so I'll leave it to Wisco.
What you got in, man?
Here's what I'll say. Cam just broke it down. At this point of the year, there's 3 days left. In my opinion, the only player you're going to touch is McCutcheon because he just hit 3 bombs. And other than that, don't even touch it. Listen to what Cam said, but I'm going to be real with you. Probably on the most games in the slate because I don't know, like it's all about the time of the year. So listen to Cam; he's breaking it down for you. But as far as me, I'm gonna take McCutch on a GPP because he just hit 3 bombs, and that's it. I mean, I don't know, like all the games on tonight's slate. It's all a bunch of wild cards. You don't know like pitchers, how long they're gonna go, like lineups, all that. But throw McCutch out there because he's on fire, and whatnot. But so that's my take on it.
I also want to mention kind of like a game theory perspective here. So get people who aren't paying attention to MLB really, they're probably going to go top 3-4 pitchers. So they're going to see Strasburg. They're going to see his last game logs. They're on fire, 60, 50, 50, 60, whatever. So I could see him getting more of the ownership again. Like I feel like these last couple of weeks you're getting the top 3 pitchers are pretty chalky all the time. And we were talking about before that these chalky pitchers for the most part, I mean, not all of them, but for the most part near the end of the season have been kind of busting. So I like to, like Wisco said, you can throw a leverage play in there. So you can get a guy like McCutcheon who might hit a home run or something like that,
Or
where you're
3.
getting what?
Or 3 home runs.
Yeah, exactly right. So I mean, I definitely like later in the season here with how these guys are doing. It's at the end of the year. A lot of guys are giving up. They're kind of either in playoff mode or ready to go do whatever they do in the off season. So they're not in full focus, and a lot of these pitchers can have a higher potential to get blown up. So I like adding a leverage play that can kind of get you up over the field here. So say Strasburg is 25% owned tomorrow, and you play a leverage play like McCutcheon and you hit the home run off of him, you're getting like, if it's a solo home run, you're getting 21 points on that 25% of the chalk there based off the -3 from the earned run and the 18.7 you get from the home run. So I've been playing that the last couple of weeks. I did that with Renfroe against the chalky Dodgers pitcher, I think it was, and he went like triple dunk. Yeah.
Oh, that was against Robbie Ray. When he hit the triple dunk,
yeah.
that was against Robbie Ray.
Yeah, the triple dunk. So I like doing that. I like getting a guy who you can kind of go up the leaderboards with while a lot of people go down. If you take
a guy in the right spot, absolutely. Josh Bell's been pretty
Correct.
hot. I wouldn't go too crazy. Spot. But yeah, picking the guy in the right spot. Josh Bell's been hot. Strauss struggles with lefties. Well, he doesn't struggle with them, but if you wouldn't want to attack him with lefties, that's your best bet. So yeah, I'm with it. I'm on the Fade Strauss train. I think in cash, I get it, but in tournaments, tournaments is mostly where I'm at this point, just because nothing is really stable at this point. So it's it's really tough to play cash. Like what I'll do is I'll make tournament lineups and throw them in a couple double ups and things just to kind of make some money back if the lineup doesn't do so well. But as far as actually playing cash with a high roll, like with a high stakes, no, I'm not doing that right now.
Yeah, that's
GPP it up though. And if you're playing GPPs, I just don't see a reason for why pay up for them. We talked about it before. If they pull them after 5 or 6 because they're limiting them, you didn't have to pay 10-5 or whatever he is to get 5-6 innings.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to talk about a guy later too, but I like finding guys who are actually going to like try and pitch well and prove themselves. So we'll get to that later. But that's kind of what I did.
Some of these younger guys are trying to solidify themselves for next year. So sometimes it's worth looking at the young guys. Matt Harvey of my New York Mets visiting Ben Lively of the Philadelphia Phillies. What you got, Cam?
Yeah, so this isn't a shocker, but he's obviously someone we can attack with lefties and righties, but he's versus the lefties. Wow, excuse me. And the Phillies have been kind of average lately. They were kind of that pesky team, but they've died down a little bit here. I think Altherr and Hoskins are your best plays. Nick Williams has gone deep the last couple of days, I believe, as well. But other than that, I don't think I I don't know. I'd have to look at it more, but I don't know if I would really have a full Philly stack. Might go like a mini stack or something like that. Just off first glance. And then this later guy, he's been giving up a lot of home runs, but two to left-handed hitters, 1.5 to right per nine. But doesn't give up hard contact at all really, and he has like no extreme xFIPs at all, which I kind of look for. So kind of seems like there might be regression there if we were playing through the end of the year. But I mean, now I pretty much go with the 2 home runs per nine number and 1.5 home runs per nine number against these guys. So if you want to take a one-off for the Mets, who has some power, but I don't know if I'd do a full stack against them either. But I think the Mets have been swinging their bats pretty well lately, at least from the numbers that I've been looking at. But I don't know, not too much exposure to this game on my part.
Okay. Wisco, what do you think, man?
Oh, Cam just got back from Vegas, and he was there like 4 days too long. So I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I'm going to say that, whatever's supposed to happen lately has not been happening. And I say that because yesterday, the Brewers, everyone, every website, every person, Brewers, Neil Walker, Thames, Domingo Santana, Ryan Braun, Stephen Vogt, blah, 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 blah. I feel like tomorrow we could fall into that same situation. So I'm gonna say tomorrow. Go a little bit out of the norm and play it a little bit differently, especially because there's only 3 days left. So that's just my take right now.
Okay. I'm with you, bro. You got to get funky. We were saying today on the Y stream, man. We were like, this slate, this MLB slate, it is weird.
Yeah.
So you just got to get weird with it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Cam was able to do it. He went weird with it, and it worked out for him. You know what I mean? And then that's what you got to do. I don't mind. I think this is a situation where I don't mind the bats because most of the guys playing here are younger, and so or like Asdrubal Cabrera, the Mets have no reason to sit him because he's probably not going to be here next year. Jose Reyes is basically auditioning for his job next year. Aoki is just here as a place filler, but Dominic Smith, Plawecki, Namo, Ahmed Rosario, Aoki, yeah, you heard it. But
Yeah.
all the those guys are young, so they're playing for next season. They're going to be playing hard, like they're playing towards the future. And the same thing with the Phillies, man. Nick Williams, Rhys Hoskins, like they're the future. They want to win still. It might not mean anything to us. Matt Harvey is like completely lost confidence. Like his interviews are just depressing interviews. Like you guys, if you were living by me, you would see them all the time on SNY. It's just so depressing. It's the same thing every time. Harvey, what's wrong with your mechanics? I don't
DK,
know.
I think that 100%. Like
I don't know.
what I meant to say, like all of a sudden you said exactly what I meant because like I'm looking at my piece of paper, I'm like Matt Harvey, and I have a big circle around his name with an arrow, and it says Homer Bailey, and I was like, where was I going with that? But at the same time, it's like that's what I meant. Like I feel like when you see Matt Harvey, you're like, oh my god, like he's gonna get fucking killed, and then like. With the Brewers, it's like Homer fucking Bailey. So it's like, what are you going to do at this time of the year? Like, stack the Phillies against Matt Harvey? Or are you going to stack the Brewers against Homer Bailey like we did yesterday? Or at this time of the year with, like, 2 games left on the slate, do you get weird and do you take Matt Harvey like we should have taken Homer Bailey? I don't know what the hell we should do.
Well, no. These are totally different situations, Wisco. I'm going to teach you something here. These are 2 totally different situations. Okay, Homer Bailey is coming. For one, he's coming back from injury, so like he expects this. He's kind of built. Matt Harvey just sucks right now, and Homer Bailey is like he already had his prime pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So like he's just trying to survive in the league.
Me and you yesterday
Harvey is supposed to be young. Like, what's that?
DK, I had 10 DK lineups yesterday, and I had 10 FanDuel lineups yesterday, and I had at least 2 Brewers in every single lineup I had against Homer Bailey. And I feel like when I looked at this...
Dude, I wish I could have talked you off Bailey.
I know.
Bailey.
And when I look at tomorrow's slate, it's like Matt Harvey. Let's take the Phillies. Like, let's just go. Let's Hoskins. Let's go Williams. But is Matt Harvey tomorrow's Homer Bailey?
Again, it's a different situation. Like you got to look at they're two different people. Homer Bailey is like he's on a successful path for him. He's coming back from an injury. He already kind of had his time, so he's trying to just now, like Harvey. This is supposed to be the prime of his career, and he's getting bombed. This is a whole different. Like Harvey's confidence is completely shot.
Clark Kent.
Yes, I don't know about that.
Like
maybe
Homer. So like Homer Bailey's a guy who the Reds kind of wanted to slot him in as their ace, but then he what did he have, like Tommy John or whatever. And he's a guy, like TK said, he's been working back from injury, but we've seen it throughout. It's going to take time, but he's kind of getting his stuff back, and he has those starts where he's not giving up any runs. And I think what TK is trying to say is like this. Like Homer's on the upswing of things, coming back from injury, and I think CK is saying that Matt Harvey is just complete crap, right?
He's got no progression. He's got no answers as to how to progress. Harvey is like confident. Homer is still confident.
30 seconds to explain what I'm talking about. I agree, but I check like 5, 6, 7 sites, and yesterday everyone said, I'm going to take the Brewers against Homer Bailey. And what I'm saying is that I feel like Matt Harvey is been that same type of player where they're going to say, Matt Harvey's bad. Let's take the Phillies against him. So I think what I'm saying is Matt Harvey yesterday's Homer Bailey.
Yeah, so you're thinking a contrarian Matt Harvey GPP play. Kind of like you're gonna
everyone's saying the Brewers are gonna crush Homer Bailey.
This is your James Shield play.
And then Homer Bailey
this is your stacked James Shields, bro.
But then Homer Bailey went 7
This is your James Shields play.
And then people like Matt Harvey's bad. He's going to get to Phillies, like stack the Phillies. Is Matt Harvey yesterday's Homer Bailey?
I don't think so, but if you want to try it,
find out.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the wise take here's my thing again is do not play Matt Harvey. None of us are going to play him, but I'm going to play him. So cue up the Matt Harvey.
I love how Wisco just talks himself into the most exotic like PPP pitching play.
Oh my gosh!
Is Matt Harvey the Homer Bailey of yesterday?
Did you see the comment we got the last time Wisco was on the show? Somebody posted a comment and they were like, Wisco went off the rails with James Shields. I think we're gonna get another comment. Dude, have you seen Harvey? I personally will probably play the Phillies. It's a small park. The Mets have a bad bullpen behind Harvey. They traded the last pieces of the bullpen that were decent. They got rid of them all. I see a lot of upside in this game from both sides. I like the bats here. It's a good hitting atmosphere. But if you listen, I get your merit though. The problem is, I think that's better suited. That's better suited, I think, when the hitters are going to be chalky, and I don't think Philly is going to be all that chalky with Coors on the slate and these other bats. So, like, my question is, what are you really leveraging? You want to pull a play like that if you know the opposing hitters are going to be super chalk, because then you're getting leverage above the field. That's why you're taking that risk. Well, it's a huge risk, but you're taking that chance. So, like, kind of like Cam was saying with leveraging by taking a hitter against the pitcher. It's in theory, it's the same concept in that sense. So I see where you're going with it, and it's possible. I'm not trying to. If you like him, play him. I mean, I'm just saying, like, to me, there's not enough value here because the Phillies aren't going to be popular enough.
And you don't like him, so do it. There's only 2 left.
I got you, bro. I got you.
You're weird on it.
Wade Miley of the Baltimore Orioles visiting Jake. There you go, Jake Odorizzi of the Tampa Bay Rays. What you got, Cam?
Well,
So
first, I think. No, I have one thing to say about Wade Miley. I think a couple nights ago, I think he was the DFS pitcher of the night, and no one saw it coming. He won a lot of people money. I don't know what that plays into this slate, but no one picks him. Go ahead, Cam.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, no one's gonna pick him for your pitcher. I mean, I'm not gonna play him at all. I see what you're saying though. If he went off and no one had him, that would definitely help your lineup. So like Wade Miley is a guy who gets torched versus righties. He goes up against a Rays team who just put up 9 runs. They have a 5-run implied total tomorrow. They're a home favorite, so I like that. You could get guys in. I don't mind even the lefties here for the Rays, but I'd probably stick to the righties. So guys like Swarza, Longoria, Ramos has been on fire lately. I mentioned the last podcast that I was on, that Hector Reveria guy, that shortstop for the Rays. He's been hitting the ball really hard. His hard contact's been up lately. So I would even think about him because his prices went down to 2.8K now on FanDuel. So I like some of those guys. I think, I don't know, that's not a bad spot there, especially if the Rays want to keep a little hot streak going. I don't mind that. I'll have to look into it more tomorrow. And then we get the Rays going up against Odorizzi. He's an extreme fly ball pitcher, but this isn't a great hitter's park, so the Orioles bats are going to get a downgrade here at the Rays Stadium. Maybe some one-offs here. I know the Orioles have been struggling lately with the bats. I know they were when I went to Vegas, and then I still think they are. I mean, I know they hit cool a little bit the other day, but it wasn't all that. Machado maybe a one-off, Shope, but these guys have all been struggling, so I'd have to look into it more, but I don't know if I really like it all that much. If some guy can get one up in the air against Odorizzi with some pop on it, they could take him deep, so maybe a one-off home run play, but other than that, I don't know how much I like it.
I agree with that. I think, no one's won money lately because they had no stack. I mean, it might be a one-off, like you said, Machado, two-dinger type of situation.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris Davis one-off, he hits a home run. Like, I think someone said, I think Paulie D or Patio said, if anything that I touch on Baltimore, it's going to get Chris Davis one-off, and boom, he hit a home run. But otherwise, they haven't been a stackable team lately.
I mean, if you guys look at the prices here on FanDuel, so Machado's 3.2K, Shope's 2.8, and these have been guys who, at the middle of the season, we could get at 4.5K to 4K. Yep. So the price is definitely considered here with Machado and Shope, and there's a reason why they're that low. It's because they haven't been hitting really at all. So
and Donaldson's been crushing.
Yeah.
Donaldson.
And Trumbull's down to 2.3. So, yeah, I don't know. One-off maybe here.
Yeah, Odorizzi, it looks like the last time he played the Rays, he put up like 55 FanDuel points against them. This was like on the 23rd. So I do think that people might look at that and say, oh, he's going to do it again. And I don't necessarily know that he can do that again. Like, one thing about Odorizzi is he hasn't been very consistent this year. We haven't really seen him put together back-to-back good outings. So I'm not really expecting to see a ceiling game from him here. And obviously, if I think about him, if you look at his career splits, he's pitched better at home. But this year he hasn't. This year he's actually pitched a little worse at home. It could be because most of his innings have been at home. I'm not sure. But he hasn't looked the same. His last 2 starts looked pretty good. But you could see last time he put up 48 against Minnesota. The next game, New York taxed him. We got 23. He was out in 3 2/3. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, he's like an up and down guy.
He's an up and down guy. I think he's in play because of his price. So like, I just don't. I wouldn't play him and expect that ceiling. But I think he's in play. And in that same sense, if you are planning on paying up for pitcher, Scope, Machado, great numbers. He's got reverse splits. You want the righties against him anyway. So yeah, interesting way to go here. And Miley, you're right, Wisco. Miley is he's a guy that I'll play once in a while in the middle of the season. It's not a terrible matchup for him. I don't like the fact that the Rays are projected for 5 runs against them. Usually you'll see a closer line. Like it seems like in this case, Odorizzi against Miley, it seems to me more like maybe they want you to take Miley, which makes me think that maybe the Rays might do okay here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about the perception of how you read the line. And I feel like when you think of Miley and Odorizzi, I think people naturally think Odorizzi is a better pitcher. Everybody knows Baltimore's been struggling, but the Rays have been struggling too. They've both been bad. So for me, if they're making him such a large favorite, that makes me think that, because nobody wants to pay 140 for Odorizzi, right? If I told you what the odds were, you'd probably want to take Miley just because Miley's not that much worse than Odorizzi lately, and he's plus 130, so we're not going to pay any juice. So I look at this and like that line concerns me a little bit, but I see what you're saying. You're right. Miley does have potential once in a while to put together a few good games. Mike Pelfrey, the handler.
Wiley's that player that can win you a GPP if the bats are chalky and you can afford them, and you just play your cards right and do that one little switch that pays off. Wiley's that guy that can win you a GPP because no one's gonna take.
Wiley?
And I think
Is that what you just said?
Wiley, yes.
No, I got you, bro. Mike Pelfrey,
Wiley.
Wiley. There you go. I just combine it. Mike Pelfrey.
You got to dig at this point.
Yes. Mike Pelfrey of the Chicago White Sox visiting Trevor Bauer of the Cleveland Indians. Wisco, you can go first because I know you love this guy so much.
What are you going to do? I mean, God damn. Abreu. I mean, just Trevor Bauer is the MLB version of Jay Cutler, in my opinion. It's like the guy that you just want to implode. The guy that you just want to cheer against. Trevor Bauer against the White Sox. I like the White Sox. They're sneaky. I don't like Trevor Bauer. I don't like Jay Cutler. So don't take Trevor Bauer and don't take Jay Cutler. Take the White Sox and take whoever the hell the Dolphins are playing because Jay Cutler sucks and Trevor Bauer sucks and they both are terrible.
Did you say Jay Cutler?
Yeah.
What are you talking about right now?
No, I said like Jay Cutler is the NFL version of Trevor Bauer in the MLB.
Trevor Bauer. Okay, I
Yes.
got you. So you think Trevor Bauer is baseball's Jay Cutler? What does that even mean?
Yeah, like people hate Jay Cutler. Okay, like the NFL.
But who hates? I think you might be the only one who hates Bauer, though. I think people actually like Bauer.
Okay, all right. Play Trevor Bauer then tomorrow night. I'm not.
No. I'm saying that I think you personally don't like Trevor Bauer.
I feel like he's burned you a couple times here, and you don't.
I'm not gonna play Trevor Bauer. I mean,
Yeah.
they have
I don't
100
blame you.
wins. They're going against the White Sox, and Trevor Bauer, he's soft. I don't know. I'm not playing him.
I got you.
Yeah, for
What
sure.
you got here, Ken?
This is another situation, kind of like we talked about with the Nats. I mean, if the I almost just said the Cavaliers. NBA is coming soon here. If the Indians are gonna come in here and they're gonna come in here with some random lineup that looks like they don't really care at all. Not gonna have interest in it really because I think that's kind of gonna play into how the pitcher kind of goes into the game. But
did you see one? 17-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah,
straight.
exactly. I was just gonna, for sure.
Bowers might be in play.
If this is a game where we're taking into consideration once again that everything would be right, Bauer's definitely a good play here. He
But
has
do you like
gone.
chalky Trevor Bauer with 17-mile-an-hour wind coming straight in? Do you like chalky Trevor Bauer?
Do you like chalky Trevor Bauer?
Well,
no, I mean I'm fine with
that. Some people say I don't like chalky Danny Duffy or something like that. Do you like if the wind's coming in 20 miles an hour and it's against the White Sox? Do you like chalky Trevor Bauer ever?
Yeah, so, I mean, where the White Sox have beat guys recently in the past month here is I think pretty much through the long ball. So when Abreu and Garcia, Yan Moncada, you get a random home run from that Sanchez guy or Nicky Delmonico, you're going to get guys that take a yard here. And if the wind's blowing in 70 miles per hour from dead center, that's definitely going to be a negative for those home run balls. You're going to decrease the distance by quite a bit here. So Trevor Bauer, BVP-wise against this White Sox lineup, he's got about a 30% K rate. 109 plate attempts, 32 strikeouts against this team, depending on who they roll out. I like it. You got the guys like...
What? You like Jay Cutler?
Yes, I do.
Oh, man.
From a glance here. I mean,
all right.
Take the name out of it. If I told you so-and-so had a 30% K percentage with 17 miles per hour winds blowing in, I think you would take it.
I like it too.
The White Sox have been a top 10 team the last 14 days. They're not striking out as much as they used to. It's at a 23% clip. We like to get them and target them when they're at like a 28% clip, 26%. So they're about an average, a little bit above an average team now, hitting wise with less strikeouts. So they're not as tempting of a target here. But when you give me those wins, you give me Trevor Bauer's BVP, he strikes them out quite a bit. You get the wind blowing in. I like that. So that's definitely something we're going to have to consider tomorrow. It definitely depends on what lineup they're going to be rolling out there, because we also want to be looking for that 6-point win and the 4-point quality start. That's an extra 10 points. That'll get you up the GPPs. Like Manaea tonight, he got me the quality start and he got me the win. So it's another 10 points that you can add up. It makes a guy from a 34 to a 44, which is a big difference too. So if Cleveland's going to roll out some crappy lineup, then, I mean, decrease it a little bit. And the bats for Cleveland, I mean, I think Pelfrey is a fly ball pitcher as well, and he gives up 2.9 or 2.3 home runs to lefties. So that's going to neutralize some of that, and something we're going to want to target with those wins, because the 42% fly ball rate, it might actually work in his favor there versus those lefties. And then he's a pretty extreme ground ball pitcher to the right-handed bat. So that win's definitely very concerning, because it's going to neutralize those power lefties a little bit for Cleveland, and then it's going to help those pitchers a lot. So I don't know. It's something I'll have to dive into, but I definitely think we want to look at that wind. We want to look at Jay Cutler's K percentage and his BVP versus... He didn't even catch it. I said Jay Cutler.
He didn't even catch it. He's in his own world. He ain't even listening to you, bro. He's in his own world over there.
Yeah,
what I was going to say too, though, is that I played the early slate today, so I had Carrasco, and he went like 8.5 innings. So Bauer might be a trap tomorrow, because Cleveland already has 100 wins, and their bullpen didn't get any work today. So at the same time, it might be a little bit of a trap. Like I said, I hate Trevor Bauer, but I do like him tomorrow, especially with Carrasco. Yeah, it's a good spot.
Like we said, we like the situation. It's just we have to keep an eye on how they're going to use them. I mean, they don't have a line on the game right now either. So Vegas is kind of the same way. It's like, how are we going to use these guys? So
passion aside, Bauer's in a good spot, but you just know, given the situation, because like I said, Carrasco went the whole game today. They want to get their bullpen ready for the playoffs. You just don't know.
Yep, for sure.
Yep.
Okay. This is going to be the longest baseball podcast ever. Atlanta. Luis Gohara, the lefty from the Atlanta Braves, visiting Dan Straley of the Miami Marlins. Wisco, do you want to go first?
No.
Okay. Cam, you go first.
I like Gohara tomorrow. He's been a guy who's kind of been the ultimate GPP play. So he'll get you like 49, 50, I believe. So I like that, but he can also get you like 19 or whatever. I think we've seen that let me pull up his game logs here. Yeah, you get 49, 19, 43, 12. So he's the kind of guy I really want to take in these last couple weeks here, especially tomorrow, who can give me that strikeout upside. He's got good K percentage. I touched on that in the past couple podcasts. I think he's probably up to about upper 20s percentage right now. So I like that a lot. This Miami team's tough though. I mean, they got some good bats in there. Gohara's never faced him before, so And what did Stanton mash 2 home runs today? So that's kind of concerning as well. But I mean, at this point in the season, we're going to have to take risks. And the guy who can get us that 50-point ceiling for 7.1K on FanDuel is something I'm definitely interested in. The humidity's at 89% tomorrow, though, in Miami. They play in a dome, though, right? So it doesn't really matter.
Right, they'll probably close the roof, yeah. Yeah, they're open.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's even favorable for Gohara. So I like it, though, for sure. He'll probably be on my short list for pitchers just because I want the upside tomorrow.
Okay.
That's why
cool.
take your bats. No, bats-wise, I mean, you got your normal Miami bats. You get Stanton, Yelich, Gordon, if the steal upside's there. First a lefty, probably not as much. And then if Dietrich's in, he's been mashing. So, yeah, I'll go from there.
Gotcha. Wisco, what you got here, brother?
I think that's awesome. Like, that was an awesome – because now I'm super interested in the game, both on the – I think Cam got me interested on the pitcher because a lot of people don't target pitches against the Marlins, but at the same time, you get a left-handed pitcher versus, Stanton, Ozuna. But you could get a decent home Marlin stack for probably cheap in GPP as well. So that game in general, I mean, like we said all night, it's a weird. Tomorrow's a weird day. We're coming to the end. You got to figure out what's gonna pay off and what's not going to. But I think that Braves Marlins game definitely could win people some money based on what Cam said from a pitcher perspective or a bat perspective. You almost have to just wait and see what that lineup's going to be, because Cash and DFS was all about the Angels today, and then he saw that lineup and he's like, audible, switching to another team. But that definitely could be a game that wins people money tomorrow night, whether it's a pitcher perspective or bats, for sure.
Yeah, you're going to want to take a stand probably on each side because we've seen Gohara, he gives up 6-5 runs, and that, or he can get.
No one's going to take him. No one's going to take that pitcher. You do a $10 single entry. No one's going to have that pitcher. No one's going to. But at the same time, you can do another one, stack the Marlins, and it could be no one's going to have that either. I like both sides of it. And at this time of the year, I know personally, Cashin's been a little tough because things like McCutchen puts up 70. Cashing's been hard, so you kind of trying to get that GPP win heading into that NFL. I don't know.
Yep.
I like it. I really like that game as a target, for sure.
All right. Charlie Morton of the Houston Astros visiting Doug Fister of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, so this falls into another one of those categories. I mean, Houston has been hot, so obviously I could take 1 through 9 for Houston tomorrow if that lineup comes out again. I believe they're still battling for the first seed in the AL with the Indians, I believe. So I'm not sure exactly about that, but I want to say that they're fighting for that. And they've been white hot. I think they scored 10 plus runs the last 2 nights, and I know that the Astros are a team that go on those streaks. So Doug Fister has been a guy at some points we take him as pitchers, and other times we take the hitters against them. So I think this could be a good spot to take some Astros coming in hot, smaller ballpark here in Boston. I like that spot tomorrow again. Got to go back to the well there. And then Charlie Morton versus these Red Sox hitters. Probably not too much interest in the Red Sox hitters.
Have you noticed that Springer's been so cheap? It almost seems like a trap. It's like the Astros were so hot at the All-Star break that it was like they're the team, they're so expensive and stuff. And then all of a sudden it gets to this point in the season and it's like, well, Springer's so affordable at leadoff that it almost seems like a trap. And I think
FanDuel is always late on adjusting their prices on players, so it's always I told you guys in the chat, I was like, I'm playing Correa until he pops off, and he's got like 50-40, so that's
But
worked
it's
out. But
affordable. I mean, it's almost like Dozier and Snem are more expensive than like Altuve and stuff. And then you can afford these guys. Like so many people are more expensive than Springer in the outfield, and it almost seems like it's too easy to fit him in. So he
yeah,
goes under owned. But obviously, Houston's still putting out solid lineups, right? And
they
they're still
did today. They did yesterday. So
they're
hopefully they
cheap
do it
stuff.
again tomorrow, and we'll ride the wave.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with it. Raul Alcantara of the Oakland Athletics visiting Martin Perez of the Texas Rangers. What you got, Cam?
Yeah, so I'm more interested kind of here with the A's bats versus Martin Perez. I just want to touch on that. I don't really have any interest tomorrow, just from a quick glance in the Texas bats. To me, they've kind of given up. They aren't playing as many guys. They've sat Beltre. They just haven't been hitting well as a team either over the last X amount of days. So I actually targeted them today in DFS with Mania. So first glance, I'm not going to be playing any of them. I don't really even know much about this Alcantara guy either, so I'd have to dig into that a little bit more tomorrow. But Martin Perez is a guy who always seems to limit that damage for the most part. I'm not sure what he's done over his last couple starts while I've been in Vegas, but I don't really like targeting him. The A's again today were kind of in that spot where they had a high run total. People were on them, kind of pivoted to them after the Angels kind of fell off with that lineup. So they'll probably be in play tomorrow. You get guys like Davis versus the lefty, and then Chapman again. I like those guys, but other than that, this lineup looks a little weak that they have projected out tomorrow. So maybe one-offs, but I probably won't be doing a full stack of the A's tomorrow. And the line actually is favoring the Rangers, which is interesting.
Yeah, okay. Let's go. What you got here, man?
Well, Perez is always one of those pitchers that I never pick, and I also never target against. So I do like the A's more at home than, even though they get that extra at bat in the ninth inning, I typically like the A's more at home for some reason. But I never take like the team against Perez, and I never take Perez. But I feel like at the same time, I feel like maybe a Texas Rangers one-off tomorrow might be a good thing. That's like a Gallo or an Apple or something like that. But that's what I wouldn't. Not Chris. Not. I don't take Chris Davis against lefties because
Yeah, he's a reverse splits guy, I believe. So.
he's good against lefties, but he's good against righties. I think if anything, I'm not really going to touch anything, but maybe just a GPP Texas Ranger first baseman, because no one's going to have that with other options on the slate. No one's going to have that.
Okay. Hyunjin Ryu of the Los Angeles Dodgers visiting Chad Bettis of the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, I'll probably have a lot of interest tomorrow in the Dodgers bats. It kind of seems like they were coming around as of late. You get Corey Seager's price has gone up, which is fair because he's been killing it lately. I like Bellinger. I like Turner here. Pretty much all the Dodgers bats are going to be in play tomorrow.
Yet?
Yeah, they're expensive. 4.9, 4.1, 4.7. I mean, Coors price. You can get Granderson in at 3.1K for cheap there. Cheap outfielder spot. And then I'll have interest too a little bit in Rockies. I'm probably not going to be playing Blackman at that price versus the lefty. Even though he's fine versus there, I probably just won't do it. Arenado, I like that spot a little bit, but I think I'm more Dodger side But these Rockies are playing for that playoff spot with our Brewers here, so I don't know. They'll be playing for something, which I like too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Wisco, what do you think?
I don't touch it. I don't touch game one in Colorado anymore, and especially with the temperature lately, the weather, it's been 53, 55 degrees. I think Chad Bettis, he keeps the ball down. Ryu, I mean, you can't take him. Arenado is probably going to be 5,300 because it's against a lefty. Arenado is like the biggest play against a lefty in Coors, but if he doesn't hit a home run, you basically are not going to cash or anything. So I'm basically probably just going to hope that people go on that game and go a different way because I don't touch game one Coors at all.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. We've seen visiting teams. To me, if I take anything from this game, it's probably the Rockies' bats. They've been matching lefties. We've seen Rio give up a lot of home runs this year. But I'm with you. For the Dodgers, it's their first game in Coors. We've seen that situation not go well. And like you said, Chad Bettis is a ground ball pitcher, so we can kind of see that scenario in a colder temperature.
Yeah.
Matt
And you
Boyd
hope
of the Detroit.
go that way. You hope that in cash they're 40% owned.
Yeah, I would imagine that Arenado is going to be pretty popular tomorrow against a lefty.
Against the lefty, because every article you read in the morning is going to say Arenado versus lefty. Yeah.
Carolina lefty cash and cores, yes sir. Matt Boyd of the Detroit Tigers visiting Kyle Gibson. All of a sudden, this guy's an ace of the Minnesota Twins. What's up, Cam?
Yeah, so I'm probably not gonna have too much interest in the Twins just based. I'll take the righties, but not the lefties for the Twins. Just based off of how Matt Boyd kind of profiles versus righties and lefties. I kind of like him versus the righties more. He doesn't give up too much damage versus the lefties, home run wise, which I like to look at initially. The hard contact's down a lot versus lefties, and it's up versus the righties. So I think if you want to target some of the Twins here, you're going to want to take the righties. We know Dozier mashes left-handed hitters. He's got like a crazy ISO versus them. And then for these, I don't know, this is tricky with these Detroit bats because, like you said, wait, is Barrios pitching tomorrow or is Gibson? Because I have Gibson on, or I have Barrios on my.
Barrios was supposed to pitch, but I believe that Gibson is going to take his spot. They're probably going to save Barrios for the playoffs.
That makes
most
sense,
likely.
right? Yep, exactly. So, I guess here then, I don't know. I would take the righties if I had to for Detroit, but I'm probably not going to take any of them. Castellanos would be like a one-off play just because I think he's a really good player and he's been hitting very well recently. But I don't know. I'd rather take Gohara than I would Gibson. Just that would be my personal take. And then these Tigers, we've seen that they can get theirs kind of. I could see the Twins being a little complacent. They've already made the playoffs. They're at home. We saw today that they struck out how many times versus Carrasco. So maybe that playoff narrative where they're getting a little complacent could be true. And I think that carries throughout the whole team. You get a guy that's kind of spot start here when he wasn't supposed to be pitching. I don't know. I'd rather take a young kid trying to prove himself than Gibson, who's been in the league for a while, and a spot start for a team that already made the playoffs.
Okay. Wisco, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure what lineup we're going to see. I mean, the Twins threw nothing at Carrasco today. So, if anything, I could see maybe a Kenny Vargas one-off, especially against Boyd for lefty. But I don't think we can expect to see Dozier. And even if Dozier plays, I'm not really sure, if we can plan on him being in the whole game. I don't know. This game just kind of seems like a DFS kind of trap where you just kind of, like I said, maybe Vargas one-off and that's about it. But I don't think Detroit's going to do anything on Gibson, and I don't think the Twins are going to put anything together and put up 10 runs on Detroit either. So maybe, like I said, Mauer might sit and Vargas might go yard on him, but that's about it, right?
Yeah, I think we have some concerns. I think the concerns are more so with the hitters from the Twins. We could see, even if these guys play, we could see them getting pulled. Now, the reason that we saw what we saw today is because they just clinched last night. So they were, or, the night before now for you guys listening. But they were out partying. They were all hungover. So he had a day game afterwards. It's like, come on, you know what I mean? So it's like that was kind of. But so I expect to see them throw out some of the regulars, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of pinch hit early and just kind of get guys out of there halfway through, just to keep, because you want to keep them active, but you want to keep them rested. As far as Kyle Gibson, I'm sort of interested in him. I normally don't like taking guys on a spot start, and Cam, what you said made a lot of sense. It did, but the thing is, if I'm thinking of why did they choose Kyle Gibson, and I'm thinking maybe because it's a guy that's usually a reliable innings eater. Even when when he sucked, he was still pretty good at eating innings. And maybe they're trying to reserve some of that bullpen going into, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe try to take it easy on him a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they left Kyle Gibson out there for a little bit. And the Tigers lineup is just weak, man. Like today, Duffy was dominating.
Really
he had one bad inning. You know what I mean? It's 50-something degrees over there in Minnesota, too. 54 degrees. So it could be nice pitching weather, man.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's definitely a very valid point. If they want him to eat up innings, definitely will need his value there.
No one's going to freaking take Kyle Gibson.
I know. I mean, if they look at his game logs, they might, because his game logs has been good, and like people love taking guys against the Tigers. But then again, Duffy kind of burned a lot of people today, so I could see maybe they're like, no way I'm playing. Nobody wants to play Kyle Gibson, Wisco. Nobody wants to, ever. Sometimes you got to do weird things. But
people will take the Twins. The Twins might be sneaky, because like Rosario and those guys, they it's against the lefty. No one's going to take those guys. So that whole game is actually
Minnesota at home versus lefties is like they destroy them. I'd be surprised if people didn't play these guys.
Yeah, but you can't take Dozier because you don't know if he's going to play because they have nothing to play for. He might only that whole game. It might be sneaky.
It's what people think, I guess. Like, if you think they're going to come into the game, be complacent. If you think then you're not going to want to play them. But if you think they're going to come in here and take it seriously,
because the Twins need to beat the Tigers. Like, I'm not doing that. Dozier doesn't give a shit if the Twins win tomorrow. You know what I mean? Even though because he's probably going to be 4,000. Maybe
he's 4.5.
4-5, dude. Try 4-5.
That's expensive for a game that matter. Where you could get possibly, I don't know.
I never.
The expensive guys probably won't be. See, in a tournament, the expensive guys probably won't be too popular. I can see Escobar getting ownership, Buxton.
Such living the dream. I had a great time last night. We're in the playoffs.
I like CK's kind of game script here where they're going to have Kyle Gibson eat innings. They'll get these guys one or two at bats and then they'll pull them for some of the younger guys here. And I think that could be definitely a nice little pitching play. And then you could afford to get the bats in there that you want.
So no one's going to be on Dozier bats at 4-5. So it's an awesome GPP play, honestly. Low owned.
Oh, for sure.
Expensive.
Oh, yeah.
You're not concerned about getting him pitched hit for at 4.5K.
Yeah, if you're not concerned about that, then yeah. I mean, it's a lefty. The Twins at home have been mashing lefties all season. This is way different at home. They've just been.
And one's going to play him, and he's expensive.
Yes.
GPP. Yep.
Gotcha. Zach Greinke of the Arizona Diamondbacks visiting Ian Kennedy of the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, so I'm going to want to play the Arizona Diamondbacks tomorrow if I can. Kennedy's not a good pitcher. He gives up home runs on both sides of the plate, 2.9 versus lefties, 1.8 versus righties. Really bad xFIP versus lefties. We've seen a guy like Jake Lamb. He's started to heat up again a little bit. Something that pops up to me is Kennedy gives up 45% hard contact to left-handed bats. with a 51% fly ball rate, and that matches up pretty well with Lamb, I think. So I'm gonna like some Lamb tomorrow, and then I mean, we can play any of these Arizona bats. They're gonna be expensive, but if kind of the way I've been playing the last week and a half here is I don't want to tell you guys my lineup, but I can tell it. It's probably going to be Gohara mixed in with some D-backs, and some Astros tomorrow. So that's definitely going to be where I'm going. I'm not going to be targeting Greinke, even though he did get blown up his last start versus the Marlins. But and then I'm not going to be playing Greinke either. 9.5K. Diamondbacks have already solidified that playoff spot. I don't know how much they're going to want to use him. Really, they're going to have to. They're going to be playing in that wild card game. Who knows what happens in those wild card games? They might need him for an inning or two there, so they'll probably get him some work. But I wouldn't say they're going to exhaust him at all, so he won't meet that 9.5K ceiling that we want out of our FanDuel pitchers. But I really do like the bats for Arizona tomorrow if they roll out a good lineup versus Ian Kennedy. Jake Lamb is probably my favorite Diamondback.
All right, let's go. What you got here, man?
Oh, Lamb's been so cheap lately too, hasn't he? It almost seems like
he's kind of in that career. So like, I know you keep saying trap, but I don't know. I think like
yeah, dude, you said like trap like 20 times, right?
It's not like I see what you're saying, but it's not.
Yes.
It's not a trap. It's not a trap. I don't think FanDuel is just kind of bad at adjusting their prices for players who have been hot. When we see on DK, if a guy's red hot, they'll adjust the price right away. When on FanDuel, you could get some guy who's been white hot that was at 2.8K, and he'll go up to like 3K. So
also, DraftKings is a lot more. Their algorithm is a lot more matchup based. DraftKings. They'll do drastic adjustments based off of the pitcher matchups. FanDuel will only do it if the pitcher's like, if it's a certain situation, like against a lefty, they'll lower Lamb's price every time. But like if Kershaw's pitching, they'll discount. But for the most part, like Cam said, they're not as quick to respond as DraftKings.
But so instead of saying trap, I would say that it's not a trap. It's just going to be a more chalkier play because he is very cheap against a pretty bad pitcher. So I mean. I don't think they're gonna trap you into playing Jake Lamb because statistically he's in a very good spot. So, but he's gonna be chalky. So if you want to pivot off that chalk, it's not a bad play because I'm assuming he'll be high owned. But I don't know.
I felt like for a little bit though, it was like Lamb was 2,900 and like Turner was 35, and it was so much easier to fit Lamb in at 2,900 than Turner at 35, because you could have a better outfielder. So it was like, I'm going to have Lamb and this outfielder, whereas like Turner gave you such a bigger return. That's why I say that is like, no matter how bad you wanted to go to like Arenado or Turner, it was like, but Lamb is so cheap, So that's why I asked. I don't know what Lamb's price is tomorrow. Then that's why
3.6K.
Yeah, he was cheap because he was struggling. He went real cold for a while.
What's Arenado against lefty in
4.9, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, pretty fair, probably, right? Not a trap.
It's a fair price against Kennedy. Well, the thing is, Wisco, it's like when people use the term trap, the trap that's more for sports in the sports betting world because Vegas sets the line. Yeah. So they want you to it is a trap because they set the line. So I don't think FanDuel's going to price somebody to make you play them. You know what I'm saying? It's just it just happens to be what it is, and like Cam said, I think they're a little late to adjust. And they're not as matchup based. Like on DraftKings, Jake Lamb will literally be 2K today against a lefty, and he'll be 4-5 tomorrow against a righty. They'll do it. FanDuel, they're not like that. They won't do such drastic jumps unless it's an extreme situation. So here against Kennedy, 3.6 is probably kind of fair for what he was cold. He just finally started to get it together. It probably is fair. And
I think one thing that CK, you, I, and Cam probably can relate to is that we probably all played. Jesus Aguilar in cash games on FanDuel at 2.3, and like because you have to. It's like Thames is out. It's against a lefty. Aguilar's a lefty masher. And then you play it, and it's like it's a trap because he sucks. He strikes out 3 times and he walks once, and it's like you have to do it because if it's a bomb, you have to be on board with it. But it's a trap. Like that's why I use that term.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in situations maybe you feel like but the only time I really feel like that kind of situation is like on FanDuel. I mean, I'm sorry, cash games, right? Because there's certain cash plays that they're going to be popular, so you have to kind of ride with that. Because if that guy goes off and you don't have him, you're behind 80% of the field. So like I see your point. I do. I see what you're saying.
Last time up here we're on, I think I said, for example, I think the Brewers are facing a lefty tomorrow, and Jesus Aguilar will probably be like 2,300, and you have to play him on FanDuel, and he'll probably hit a home run. And then the next day, all of a sudden, it was like he was in the lineup. We wrote him up as an option to play, and he hit a home run. It's like, well, see, you had to do it. That's a trap. I mean, you have to freaking do it, and that's a trap. And if it doesn't happen,
I'm starting to understand your language. I'm starting to understand your language, Wisco. I'm starting to. I think I'm finally starting to get a little bit here. I see what you're laying down. I see it.
Will not explain the trap ever again because now you said you understand.
No, it's cool. But I think Cam had the right idea. I think we can attack Kennedy. That's fine. I don't know how popular. I'm sure that they'll be somewhat popular. Like, how do you not like JD Martinez? I'm curious to see which guys play, but it seems like they're still playing their guys. And what you said about Greinke, I'm concerned because one, Kansas City doesn't strike out a ton, so we worry about his K upside and his floor. And two, they might not let him go that long because they're like might not because they got things locked up pretty much.
That's just kind of like my process right now. Later on in the slate, it's like I can pretty much immediately cross off Greinke just because I don't think they're gonna pitch him up to like. He could be cruising for 5 innings and they could just pull him, and then it's like, what did we get for that price? So it's like,
you know what's effed up about that? And I say effed up because we're not going to swear anymore on this show. But you know what?
I've already dropped like 20 F-bombs, dude. Like, we're already like...
We're done swearing. But Rich Hill pitched 2 innings, and then it's like he was the play of the day, and then he went freaking... like 10 innings and like 95 strikeouts. Oh, it's so frustrating. I hear
you, bro. There you go. You guys are going to like this one. Chase Anderson of your Milwaukee Brewers, the beloved Milwaukee Brewers, visiting John Gant of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Let's go. I'll let you go first.
Well, Brewer season's on the line, and you got to just ride it.
If you're a Brewers fan, to be very clear, if you couldn't tell from behind Wisco, he is a Brewers fan. I just have to... Well, I mean, Cam is too. But we have to give that disclosure whenever we have a potential homer take coming up. Just throwing it out there. Not that I think it's a bad play. I'm just throwing
this
it
is
out
not
there.
A homer take because, I mean, we piled on the Brewers against Homer Bailey, and that didn't work out. But the fact of the matter is Chase Anderson is a good pitcher, and he went on the DL, and he came back, and he's strong. And, I mean, the Brewers have a lot to play for, and you don't know what you're ever going to get out of them. But Chase Anderson is a good pitcher, in my opinion. I think he's going to have a very good career in the major leagues as a starting pitcher. I don't really know a lot about John Gant, but it's Brewers at Cardinals. Brewers are the away team. Not sure about the health of Thames. I mean, he came up limp 2 days ago, and then like yesterday he played, and then he was day to day. I'm not really sure, but the Brewers are a fun team, and I don't care who John Gant is. If we're the away team, we get to bat 9 innings and Chase Anderson to the mound. I'm not taking any Cardinals except maybe a Tommy Pham one-off because Tommy Pham is a DFS lord. But other than that, Chase Anderson, I feel like, is a very good pitcher, and I think he's got it figured out. And the Brewers need to win, but I'm not sure that they're a stackable team because they completely screwed me yesterday. Go ahead, Cam.
Yeah. So Chase Anderson is going to be on my short list tomorrow for pitchers as well, because I just want to kind of go through my thought process here. Earlier on in the year, he was very solid, like you touched on. He had 64, 52, 45, 43, 43. And those are all in like right in line. And then against Pittsburgh, he had 52, dropped down against the Cubs, who had Array at 38. So he's had two pretty good performances. 38 against the Cubs was pretty good in my opinion. He gets, and then this is my big thing, is he gets a Cardinals team who just got eliminated from the playoffs, starting a rookie pitcher who we don't really know about. Unfortunately, it is at St. Louis, but he does get a ballpark boost there. But I also don't like targeting the Cardinals at home. But I do want to dive into this more, because I think if we can get this Cardinals team who just got eliminated from the playoffs against Chase Anderson, who needs this win, he's been strong lately. I kind of like it. The winds are blowing in 10 miles per hour from left. So that's going to negate the righty power a little bit. He's cheap at 8.3K. So he can get value. And if we get that quality start in the win for the Brewers tomorrow, it's a win-win for me and Wisco. And it's a nice little play there on FanDuel at 8.3K. Get the quality start in the win to add in the 10 points versus a Cardinals team who might be giving up already now that they just got eliminated. So I kind of like it, kind of just how, or what Wisco said, the only one-off I would take would be Pham. Fowler was hot, but he kind of lost that steam a little bit. Who knows who the Cardinals even play tomorrow? You never know. They might want to jam it up the Brewers, you know what, because we're not swearing on YouTube anymore. And then I'm not going to take Milwaukee bets because they've looked like crap lately. But even, who knows? I mean, John Gant, I don't really know much about him, but I'm probably just not going to be taking the Brewers back.
Yeah, it's like a one-off game, right? You might take a one, like Shaw and Pham or something like that.
Yeah, possibly.
Based on price.
Yep, I guess. I'm not touching the Brewers because they've looked like crap, but
yeah.
I think if I was going to take a one-off, it'd be Domingo Santana. That dude's been red hot. Dude's just been red hot. I like the take. I think a lot of people don't realize, people don't know about the Brewers pitchers because they just assume Brewers, small ballpark, crappy pitching. And they don't bother to look deep into the numbers. Like, for the longest time, we were all about, last year, attack Jimmy Nelson. Halfway through the season, he kind of righted the ship. This year, he was basically their ace when Chase Anderson got hurt. And so now people are sold on Jimmy Nelson, and they don't even realize that Chase Anderson is supposed to be better than Jimmy Nelson. It's just he got hurt.
Yeah, so Chase Anderson was the guy who was supposed to be their ace this year until he got hurt. So
that's the thing. People don't necessarily realize that. I think people don't realize how good Chase Anderson actually is, because he's been bitten by the injury bug, and just like Nelson and Davies, it took all three of them some time to adjust. Like, they are in a small park.
Yeah,
they had to learn how to pitch in that ballpark. But Anderson, Nelson, even Davies. Davies is obviously my least favorite from that trio, and I'm not a Brewers fan by any means. I'm a Met fan. But yeah, I definitely respect this young pitching core. Jimmy Nelson and Chase Anderson is supposed to be the leader of that pack. So this is a great spot. The game's on the line. This is what he was hoping for all season. He got hurt. He's been struggling with injury. He has a chance to help put his team in the playoffs. Got to pitch well. It's in his hands, and he's going up against a rival team that has got nothing to play for anymore, except for the spoiler role. And like I was saying to you guys before the show, if they're throwing out John Gant, it doesn't appear to me like they're really trying to win this game for real. I'm sure their hitters are going to try, the professionals. But I think if they really wanted to win this game, they would play somebody. They wouldn't play.
They would have played. Yeah, exactly. So, tomorrow, who knows what the Cardinals are going to roll out for that lineup. That could be even another bump up for Chase
Anderson
there.
has a big upside. People don't realize that.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, exactly. So if we get a weaker Cardinals lineup there, I might have just talked myself into that play. So I like that.
38% humidity, 71 degrees. It's a bigger park. When you don't have the weather in your favor, it's actually a pretty big park over there.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Definitely. And the wind's blowing 10 miles per hour to left, so that helps. Guy like DeJong, Piscotty, Grichuk are those power guys. Pham, Fowler and Carpenter are the only guys would have to worry about there. But it does. This projected lineup doesn't even look like Carpenter's going to be in. So if that's true, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Anderson might be a great play tomorrow.
Yes, I think he very well might be. Marco Gonzalez of the Seattle Mariners visiting Tyler Skaggs of the Los Angeles Angels. What you got, Cam?
Yeah, so I mean, we saw today that the Angels kind of just sat everyone. So I mean, who knows what they do today? Or I mean tomorrow, I guess. But I don't even know much about this Marco Gonzalez guy. Do you guys know anything about him? But I don't know. But I wouldn't really want to target the Mariners really against Skaggs just because Skaggs sometimes pitches well and other times he doesn't. I don't know what I'm going to get from him. And I just like other spots a lot better than these Mariners bats. If you want to take a Mariner bat, you could definitely take Cruz against the lefty. And obviously Skaggs has those platoon splits so the righties get to him a little bit. I think Cruz has been hot recently too, so that might not be a bad one-off play, but I probably won't be like stacking the Mariners by any means, but definitely Cruz one-off versus Skaggs possibly, and then who knows what the Angels do. I mean, but Marco Gonzalez looks like he's a left-handed pitcher, so you can take those righties for the Angels if you want to, but not really sure much about Marco Gonzalez, unfortunately.
Oh my God, you guys! Like I'm looking at the slate, like who's going to be the chalk pitcher tomorrow?
Probably Strasburg.
Yeah,
Or
it
Greinke.
will.
Strasburg and Greinke, probably. But Strasburg more so.
Like,
Yeah.
Wisco, we were talking about this before the slate starts, but like a lot of people will just like plug in those top pitchers like we've seen. It's just like what was Gray on today? Like whatever
40%.
percent. But yeah, exactly.
40%.
So like
Sonny Gray was 40%.
because they don't know who to go to really right now because it's kind of like been whacked the last couple of weeks. So they're like, oh, this guy's the highest amount of money. He's got to be the best pitcher. So it's like those guys will probably be the highest owned, which will work in our favor if we can find another guy who's lower and going to go the whole game. Like, because I don't think those guys are going the whole game.
Right.
Here's what I'll tell you guys: do not play Matt Harvey tomorrow. But I'm gonna. You guys.
Yo, listen. Last time, listen. I'm gonna give you your props, Wisco. You said stack James Shields, bro, and
Okay.
James Shields did not have a great fantasy game. But I tell you what, he didn't have a bad game baseball wise. The Astros, he were well in check. I gotta give you that. Like, yeah.
Points and James Shields got 25 points. Like, no, I wasn't that. I'm not. My point is that at this time of the year, stuff's weird, and it's so weird. So it's like
Yeah.
today, like every lineup I had Brewers and Homer Bailey.
Dude, you
threw,
said
like,
that like 5 times. You keep bringing up the Brewers. You keep bringing up Homer Bailey. Like, I gotta give you props, bro.
Strasburg,
Yeah, like just so you guys, in case you guys don't know, Wisco runs our social media. That's what Wisco does for us. So like I gotta give you props. I can't believe that I haven't seen a ton of Brewer gifts and like and Green Bay Packer gifts on the Wise Take Twitter. I gotta give you props because that means you're showing great restraint. And so, man, I just learned something new, man. He's professional about it on the Twitter. Listen, that's what you're here for is the Twitter. So like I respect it, bro. Listen,
How many
it's
days
cool,
do we
man.
have left? How many days do we have left?
What a baseball! Today's the last podcast, my man.
Let's get weird. Let's all pitch 100% Bartola Cologne tomorrow night.
Is he
Right.
pitching?
I just
No.
you're like, right.
All right. Last game, fellas. Last game, and we're out of here. Jordan Lyles of the San Diego Padres visiting Chris Stratton of the San Francisco Giants.
All right, so Lyles gives up hard contact. He's sitting in about 35, 38 for each hand. He's a ground ball pitcher, so that kind of favors him there. I like that a little bit, but I'm not going to be playing him, or I'm not going to really be playing any of these Giants bats at all. Yeah, I don't think many people are going to be touching this game. Stratton, though, I might have some interest in him. He's a guy who limits damage. The lefties get him, and I'm not really scared of any of the lefties here for the Padres, and he's pretty strong against right-handed hitters. He's got it like a 22K percentage versus righties, a solid xFIP, doesn't give up home runs. He's in a pretty good ballpark, ground ball pitcher. So I might like that a little bit here. Wind's blowing out 10 miles per hour, but San Fran has a pretty big ballpark, and the lefties don't really scare me for the Padres. The Padres have been really bad the last 14 days against righties. They have a 30% K percentage of 124 ISO and a 67 WRC plus. So they're not going to scare me. They could have some K upside for Stratton there if they roll out a righty heavy lineup. And then if they do have a couple of one-off lefties there, they're not going to really scare me that much with their power or anything. So Stratton's interesting, but I would more likely pay up the 1K for Anderson. But just thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah. Wisco, what you got here, man?
Well, I think that based on today's experience, it's like from the sites that I looked at and stuff, everyone was talking about the same type of games. So it's like tomorrow, like what games are going to be talked about, what games are going to be ruled out. And if everyone looks at high run total, people are going to, I mean, that's going to be the chalk games and stuff. So it's like some of these games, you have to figure out that the games that are going to fly under the radar are going to be the ones that are going to win you the money in the GPPs. At this point in the season, cash games are very scary. So it's like there's going to be that Lyles, there's going to be that Skaggs, that Anderson, it's going to be that Boyd, it's going to be that one pitcher, that Miley. That's going to be that difference maker that gets 50 points. And if you have that right stack, well, we're going to have to wait and see what that lineup is. That's going to win you the money. So, I mean, it's like, it seems like there's so many games, like Padres Giants. To me, it's like, you look at that game, it's going to be low ownership. You just basically, like, if you have a one-off in that game, that player that you have in that game that hits 2 home runs is going to be 1% owned. I mean, that same thing with, you don't know what the Angels are going to throw out. You know, the Brewers are going to throw out, you know what they're going to, so they're going to probably be 40% owned because, you know, the Brewers have to win. Diamondbacks, you don't really know. The Dodgers, Rockies, you know, so it's like you just have to kind of wait and see what the lineups are going to be tomorrow, and then you have to know like what contests you're entering and get weird with it. That's what, you know.
Hey man, I hear you, man. I definitely hear you, and I think you could get weird if you want to. It's a big park. I think the only play I really like from this game is probably Stratton, and like you said, Cam, I don't know that I need to play Stratton here. I think there was a couple options above that we found that were within reach here. So yeah, I think for me, Stratton is the only thing I really like from this game. But if you want to take a one-off from the Padres, like I like taking Renfroe against lefties. Stratton's not a lefty, but if you want to take one from either side, you know, be my guest. You know, I think, you know, you can do it. But hey, guys, that was fun, man. This was a longer one, you know, about an hour and 20-something, but it was a lot of games. And Wisco had to vent a little bit. He had to talk about Harvey. He had to talk about his Brewers. So we got it in. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. And I mean, we'll finish out the MLB season strong, hopefully. But I think it was a good year, and hopefully everyone learned a lot from these podcasts. I know I've only been on a little bit, but I know I learned a lot from just listening to them before when I started. So hopefully everyone's in the same boat. And I just got that 130 deposited into my FanDuel account, so that's looking a little more bulky for tomorrow. So we'll put some of it on MLB, and hopefully we can lead you guys in the right direction.
Hold on. So to be clear, are we all in on Matt Harvey tomorrow, or are we off that?
No. I am not.
I am off
on Matt Harvey.
I literally just made my lineup.
Wisco, we just told you like 3 or 4, 5 pitchers. Pitchers is relative. It's actually, considering today, it's actually relatively deep for pitching. There's a bunch of cheap options. If you're willing to go cheap, there's a bunch of guys worth that you can see having good games. Matt Harvey is not one of them. Not for me. You can do it, bro. You can do it. You can play Matt Harvey, bro. I'm just saying though. I don't think too many of the nation is going to follow you. That's all I'm saying.
Do you actually want to talk this through, or are you just joking?
No, I'm just doing the James Shields thing because the James Shields thing. He got 25 points and Robbie Ray got 5, and I'm like, season's getting weird. Like, is Matt Harvey going to be the one that wins people fucking $20,000?
But Shields getting you 25 isn't going to win you a GPP.
Yes.
No, but Robbie Ray
we don't just want our guy not to bust. We want to maximize our score. Like, it's not just about not busting. We want to win. You know what I mean? So I don't think Matt Harvey will get us to win. You know, that's what his swinging. There's no strikeout. He's just not striking anybody out. So it's like, where are we gonna get the points from?
Homer Bailey looked like Nolan Ryan.
Homer Bailey. Oh my God. Okay, guys. So we're gonna wrap this up. The MLB stream Friday. Don't miss it. 5:30 p.m. Buy a day pass if you have to. Patio Joe is going to. He has some news he wants to share with everybody, and of course, we have. Yeah, I knew it. He's getting the whole wacky poster. Of course, Patio Joe also has a very awesome story he'd like to share with you guys for entertainment purposes. You can't see it on YouTube. Maybe he can, considering how many F-bombs Wisco just dropped tonight. But no, but we're not gonna let him do it on YouTube. So you got to get the live stream. It's only like $249 for a day pass. Hop in there. We will cover the slate, so you'll get some DFS knowledge with it too. So definitely check it out. For those of you subscribed to the football package, NFL live stream is Saturday 2 p.m. Eastern. Definitely want to catch that as we go to attack NFL Week 4. We'll keep you guys posted with some playoff coverage potentially. We're going to amp it up, get ready for basketball. You're going to see a couple basketball shows come here. Patio Joe's not happy about that, but he's going to have to deal with that because that's just what's happening. Basketball's here. And we're still matching football. So, guys, you'll catch Cam's article. Wisco, obviously, he runs our social media, so you could find him on the Twitter. You can find him on the Facebook page, doing his thing over there, learning the game and having fun along the way, stacking Matt Harvey and James Shields, brah. But, guys, really subscribe.
Good. I am.
He's not really going to do it, yeah, he is. And so, if you're watching on YouTube, Homer Bailey, back to the Brewers again. What about the Brewers? Brewer this, brewer that. We know it is. Homer Bailey again. I know. I feel like that was like spot on with how you think. I feel like that was it right there. Homer Bailey, what? Brewers, yes. Aguilar. Homer Bailey. All right, guys. So if you're watching on YouTube, click that thumbs up. That like button means a lot to us. If you're listening on Podbean, give us a follow. If you're listening on iTunes, subscribe to the channel. And also give us some 5-star reviews. Bump us up those charts. So for Wisco, for Cam, for myself, the entire West Egg Nation, hope you had fun with us this baseball season. It was a lot of fun. I think we had a great year here at the Nation. Got some great people on the team. And we'll see you guys for football and basketball. And as always, good luck.
Good luck!